Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Borderlands 2. So, 2 hours into the game, we're still kind of in the intro area, dealing with some basic things.
I'm racking my brain trying to think of a name for that diamond pony I bought. I was going to call it Piss for Brains in honor of you, but that just feels immature. Hey, maybe Butt Stallion? Nah, that's even worse. I'll tell you what, I'll give it some more thought.
So that is the name he decides to name that diamond pony, and that actually is a running gag that gets referenced throughout the whole of this game and Tales for the Borderlands, and I imagine it's mentioned also. I guess it couldn't probably be mentioned in Borderlands pre-sequel. Maybe it could be slightly referenced to. Let's see, I guess I can just walk over here. This is different than how we've seen things before, where we really haven't run into a snowed over Pandora. Let's see, we've got this area where you don't really crouch. Like, there's no crouching button.
Here, grenade.
Like, yeah, there's no crouching button at all, so you can walk behind things, certainly, and try to take some cover, but this is not something like Gears of War, where you would... we haven't heard the psychos saying too much lately, or so far in the game. That's kind of good because the dialogue was a little bit repetitive in the previous game, and fighting bandits and psychos, that they by far are the vast majority of the people you're fighting. There is definitely a lock-on in this game, so you're not playing something that is designed for mouse and keyboard gameplay. This is a easier game, designed to be an easier game, designed to be more friendly to new players. It certainly was pretty friendly to me when the Borderlands series came out. Before then, and practically for the most part after that point, I don't play first-person shooters. I find them hyper-focused on multiplayer only, so there's no story, which is not something I particularly want to do. Is like I want to see some story. I want the creators of the game to actually have some skin in the game as far as making me interesting. Here we have an Atlas Corporation sign that is now just getting used as kind of nothing. I'm not sure there was another way up here. And we're now full again. Do we have anything to toss that would be less good? Let's see. Let's see. If we're going to compare, we had X, and then we go, well, this is trash, and then this is trash, and then this is trash, and then reload speed. We'll go ahead and trash that. Still want to... We'll go ahead and trash that one. We don't need 2 fire guns. We'll go and trash that one. And this one, I think, yeah, it feels like the revolver and the handgun and repeaters have been combined into one. I'm not sure if that's really the case, but it seems like they lost the concept of... No, that's not true. Alright, well, we'll leave those 2 there to dissolve in some hope that maybe there's a balancing system that will give us more gold for when those dissolve later on. Leaving things behind is not a big issue by far. It's something we're gonna do tons of. This is another one of those scenarios where this is a boss arena and nothing's gonna be spawned until I'm actually in the fight. Get the bullets. There's no shop or anything around this area. Nice grenades. I think the grenades have been reskinned. There's a couple of things that I guess if you can't reach them, it might be sensible to do that, but it might be actually a really, really bad idea, because if there is some crazy rare gun that just spawned out of those areas, out of those ice bits, I may never get around to collecting them.
Open.
Now,
I should
arguably,
probably clarify. The diamond horse I've been telling you about isn't a sculpture or anything. It's a living horse that actually happens to be made of... Yeah, honestly, I'll go get it. What, Stallion? There you go. What, Stallion? Say hello. Yeah. Mud Stallion says hello.
it's like a real horse.
Let's go this way.
So this is introducing Handsome Jack as crazy as everybody else we've seen.
This way.
And we've seen this before, where you fall down and get trapped into a boss fight. So let's do this.
It's Boo Boo.
I like these intros.
Light the fuses, bitches!
But
I'm ready to
so Boom Boom is 2 people. So we've got this one guy who's gonna try and do everything possible to kill you with a very powerful gun, and another guy with a rocket pack. Seems like he's not taking too much damage. Now out of bullets. So now I'm dying. And unless I could reload and shoot this guy and get a kill on him, I'm dead. Great example of a fight that would be a lot easier to do as a team.
Your death as failure. Think of it as fun. Don't think of Hyperion's new you respawn charges as war profiteering. Think of them as war fun.
So, yeah, that didn't work. Let's go ahead and equip this gun and try this. Don't worry.
This slag, inelegant chemical, increases damage.
So I think what it does is it weakens people. So we'll try this slag gun. The fight's still kind of on though. Just because I died doesn't mean anything. I believe there is an achievement for killing this guy first, however. So, let's see if we can... see if we can use this. I have no clue where the other guy is, so it's wearing down my health a decent amount, and wearing down my money. I guess we're gonna get this cutscene every time, possibly because I'm playing as a single player. It was 47 before, it's now 38, so the inherently, if you had no money, you would be like, well, are you not gonna respawn? Yes, you'd still respawn, don't worry. At least I've actually never seen anybody allowed. So Boom is back to his default, and I have no interest in... I'm not gonna get all the achievements, so I'm going to do this, and finally I can get my action skill, which lets me do something with my left bump.
I'm covered in slag. I must seek cover quickly, or pain is coming.
Okay, so I need to kill somebody quickly to get a second wing, and kill Boom.
Be sure to equip it.
So remember, I'm not supposed to have this gun yet. Like, that's totally not... And we've got a grenade mod, which I'll take. And I need to dump... Let's see, we have something for 62 and something for 69, so we need to just dump something that's low value. Just so we drop that, and we'll drop that one, and take this and this instead.
This way.
Come over here, Call of Duty, and gross. Let's see, we've got one for 63, 53, and 56. So let's dump some more things. Dump, and dump that. While we're at it, we'll dump these two while we're at it. We've already hit that point where there's too much. I'm up here. And apparently that gets me up here. Apparently that gets me up here. But I'm kind of wedged between this and this. So. Yeah, there's kind of nothing here. So apparently, it seems like I needed to destroy this big cannon and then destroy the person riding and driving the cannon. Let's take as much as possible and be a little bit quicker about all this stuff. This really isn't a game where there's gonna be easy to miss collectibles that really matter. Some rare occasion you'll run into something that's based on a quest, but most of the time if it's based on a quest it has something hidden, something indicated to tell you that it's important. The Vault Hunter symbols, I suppose, might be something to keep an eye out for, but if there is one around this area, I have no clue. Alright.
Ragged, fragged, lock, gate. Ooh! Idea! Minion! Get on that cannon! Just blast this gate down! But don't do it until I'm out of the way!
Understand? If you shot the gate now, that could cause serious damage to me. So don't do that. I'm just standing here to show you the area you should shoot after I move away. Which I will once I'm totally convinced you understand the instructions that I'm relaying to you.
Either I shoot him now,
Understand.
this has infinite bullets,
But just
or I wait.
but when it's okay for you to
And
shoot this gate
the question
with the
is
cannon,
there
I'll
an
say something like,
achievement
"Shoot the gate
for
with the
shooting the
cannon
gate?
now." But that was just a test, right? You didn't shoot the gate when I said that.
Or
which is
do
good.
you listen to all the stupid dialogue?
Also another test.
Meanwhile, this game is
Actually, I'm getting
taking
bored.
some time.
Just shut the gate now for realsies.
Actually, I'm getting bored. Just shoot the gate now for realsy. So this is kind of cool, but I don't think you do this very often. It's an infinite thing. This is a good place to grind, I suppose, but that's kind of all you can do here. You're done. So hit B and get out.
Select.
Right. And I'm about to die again. Why am I dying so quickly? Remember, there was no difficulty settings in this game. They've totally done away with that. Like, I guess that was easily overlooked as a factor. The Borderlands 1 did have difficulty settings, although it seemed pretty adaptive. I think it did have some difficulty settings. Maybe it didn't. Come to think of it. But this certainly doesn't. These guys are doing way too much damage to me. I'm trying to get a second wind and it's not working. Now there's like a rack flying above. Let's see, equip this. And then, do we have anything better? Let's get back to our previous gun.
Only one thing worse than respawning, and that is not respawning.
Let's try this again. Kind of the last thing I need is to run into a scenario where I'm dying over and over again. Get me in this vehicle. Can't get in the vehicle apparently. So they're reusing this area, and in reusing it, they're causing me a little bit of frustration because I definitely need to move on to an area where I can sell things and move forward. Just walk over these. And just because it's a white weapon doesn't inherently mean that it's not more valuable or in some other way useful, better, higher statted compared to what I have. The loot system doesn't really work.
On Captain Flint's ship before the flash freeze, which explains why his men are currently beating the crap out of me, right, guys?
Shut up!
Okay.
So here's his ship. Apparently there was a flash freeze, so this was an ocean. There was definitely some weirdness in some of the levels. There's one of those laser turret things. First time we've seen that. There was a desert section in the previous game that looked like it was an ocean section that had dried up. But there was mines in the desert section as if it had very recently dried up. I guess Pandora's environment is not stable. And let's continue to try to hit as many racks as possible. The bullets sort of just head themselves. Nah, I'm missing way too much. I'm wasting bullets. Seems like those guys are also attacking the racks instead of me. But I know that there's probably a quest built around killing racks, so it's nice that they didn't try to get rid of every single thing from the first game and set it on a completely different planet, but you kind of need that now for the Borderlands 3. It stops making a ton of sense. Wow. So falling in the water just is painful. Good to know. So instead of having to see one of these that would just shoot you on sight and kill you in one shot, water now is, at least in this frozen section, too cold to transverse.
Claptrap's got a new friend, huh? I gotta say, I missed the little hunk of junk. The noises he made when we set him on fire brings a tear to my eye.
Throw some grenades and do our best. There's a pretty drastic dusk and dawn sequence that's going on too. Doesn't seem like I think Pandora very well might be a planet with two suns, so it doesn't seem like it ever goes pitch dark, but it does seem to slightly change your shading textures and just how things look. Maybe it goes a little too far with that. Maybe it doesn't matter. I should say, I tried to think what the story is gonna be, and I can't really remember it. Like, I know we're gonna do some stuff here, and then we're gonna get to Sanctuary. We're gonna have to do some stuff with Sanctuary. This looks like one of those robot repair kits that I won't be able to collect until I start that mission. So we'll keep an eye out for a claptrap unit that's broken, if there are any in this game at all. So I know a big part of the story is around getting to Sanctuary, and until we can get to Sanctuary, I can't use any of the golden keys, which is taking probably too long. I'm trying to hit that poison barrel. There's all kinds of quests for killing things with environmental abilities. I'm not sure if these guns have penetrating abilities. Let's try this. So Zero's ability makes me go invisible and leaves a clone. So the more I can use the ability, the better. But so even the enemies are respawning. That was a weird thing about this whole respawn points, is that the enemies respawn, the good guys respawn. It's no longer just this, oh, because it's a video game, your character can respawn, and that your death just won't be canonical. In this game, yeah, if you die, I suppose it's canonical. Of course, then the story gets weird later on.
Little bastard escaped a few months back. I've had to use Ethan as my backup torture doll.
Man, a lot of shots there. Not.
At the sound of Ethan screaming for his
We've got some
life,
pizza.
it will be 2:30.
Here's another toolbox. Hey, there's a shop. I see it on the map. Good. Desperately need probably to sell
A few of
everything.
you have asked me why I keep playing these pre-recorded messages on a loop. Well, I've got a great answer for you. A red-hot poker to the eye. Isn't that right, Claptrap?
It was just a question, Mr. Flint.
That's Captain Flint to you.
So Claptrap is getting a red hot poker in his eye? Is that the... Right. It still has this very weird set where nobody seems to notice you until you start shooting. I guess that works better than some alternative systems in games where you're able to pull aggro off of enemies that are way too far away and cause a large group of people to come chasing towards you. Just trying desperately to get to the store, and yes, I know where we need to level up to. Where's this thing? It says it's right here. It must be, it can't really be up, well, it must be up there, yeah. Okay, well, sigh, exhausted sigh already. Let's go over and take it. Do we want to increase the...
I do have the skills to pay all my bills, figuratively.
So a lot of these solo comments are only happening in the menu, so you don't hear them repeat over and over again. That was slightly annoying when the Siren that I was playing as in the first game was always laughing and laughing maniacally. Let's see. Massively increase melee damage against enemies with low health. Increase your melee damage and maximum health. Increase your zoom with all gun types. Additionally, your aim is not disrupted when you're taking damage. Increase critical hit damage. So do I want to go down a road of increasing accuracy and damage with the ability to shoot through enemies at some point, which is something that I was wondering about, and accuracy with sniper rifles and such. Like, I'm playing with a sniper rifle right now, or do I want to go with bloodshed? Increase maximum health, but kind of the only reason you even need maximum health is because you're going to try and use your action skill every time, and unlike before, using your melee or kill skills or action skills, I don't think it's going to reduce the cooldown too much. More than likely these ones would be the items you'd want to go for. So let's start with this. Increasing my zoom would be nice. By 3% though is not super great, but increasing my steadiness would be nice. Or increasing this would be nice. Let's just do this. We'll just increase our critical hit damage, because I am getting a nice collection of critical hits. And we're still running into toilets. Let's see. More capacity, but slow recharge. What's this? Okay. And if I hit X on this and hold X, it doesn't let you pick it up, but if you double click it enough, it will just kind of pop up and change. 70, 78, 78. Again, it says there's a sail machine. It's got to be up there, I guess. Let's keep on going. This is a longer hallway, basically. It is an open air hallway where you can see other things, certainly, but effectively you can't go down there, and if you did, you just die. So we're working our way to our first, I guess you'd call them area bosses, with the idea being that that everything up until this point has been a not an area boss, and so much more of just a sub boss. Right.
You're an organ donor, right?
Let's compare this gun to anything we've got. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. We have a flame one. We have an explosive one. Okay. Next, we have one sniper rifle. And we have one SMG. And shotgun. Grenade mods. The contraband skyrocket. Let's go ahead and 1,100 damage. Damage is based on player level. Interesting. Let's sell that though. That's not going to be useful now. Alright. So we were sitting on
Hope you've had your shot.
a nice collection of
What's going on?
so like, do I even care about picking up stuff and running back? I guess I kind of don't. So
Oh, that was nuts!
Hello, badass.
uh,
Ammo depleted.
where is everybody? Like, that whole beam slag thing didn't even hurt it. This guy's so heavily armored that I'm struggling with that. I desperately need I desperately need to work on using less bullets, since I have no upgrades right now. The game feels so different, right, compared to finishing let's just keep on going with shield things. Like, my small increases,
I won't be defeated.
my tiny little increases on as far as those level ups are not helping anything. Is this gun better? No. Is this gun better? Maybe. Just take it all. These dartboards are a lot bigger in Borderlands 2 than the ones that were in the first game, I think.
Got a proposition for you two. You and Clappy be our personal torture buddies for life, and we won't kill you. Think it over. Take your time.
So I think we're approaching Claptrap. Not sure I was supposed to make my way up this way. Just want to that. So I'm about to die, and I've got nobody I can shoot that's gonna let me survive. This seems a lot harder than what it was in Borderlands 1, and not in a Dark Souls-esque, this is exactly what I wanted way. It's a more of a, just, I know they've increased it, but I guess next thing we want to do is increase accuracy. And I think I need to start and equip this gun. It feels like the balancing mechanic might be too well programmed. Maybe I'm just playing with some particularly demanding weapons, but this is what I was going for, was more of a sniper rifle type character. Music comes in and out before the level is even cleared.
Hey, Claptrap! Oh, I'm fine. I kind of wish you wouldn't beat me up, though. Why? Because it really hurts. You make a good point, Claptrap, but beating you up makes us feel really good. I know, guys, but it makes me feel really bad. But Claptrap, you're a robot. Are you even capable of feeling pain? Well, no, I guess I'm not. So, throttling you makes us feel good and doesn't hurt you. So there's no harm in us continuing to do it, right? Actually, now that I've talked it all out, I think you guys have the moral high ground here. Pull away!
Claptrap just talked himself into continuing to be brutalized, which is funny the first time you hear it. Certainly your experience with Claptrap, at least for me at this point, is dubious at best. Like, I will put up with him. I won't say he's the worst character ever. I get the comedy. I slightly question the comedy being kind of the mental attitude of people at Gearbox, to the point where it might have not evolved enough over the years, and if that is the case. So yeah, here's the people beating up on Claptrap.
I am gonna make heaven from your
These guys are throwing grenades at me as I'm throwing grenades at them. And I believe they will want me to do something. Get a repair kit. I imagine. We've seen what looks like 2 repair kits.
Second foot, my new minion's a bona fide badass.
That is certainly a concern, is that over the course of years, the badass phrase and in general, like, a lot has changed since when this game came out. And sure, I'm not totally wanting this to turn into some kind of World War II shooter that is 100% respectful and historically accurate or anything like that, but I also, the teenagers that may have been playing Borderlands 1 are now going to be in their mid-20s probably by the time Borderlands 3 comes out, and they're going to be in a different place. They're going to potentially have children of their own. Maybe not children that are quite age appropriate to play Borderlands 3, but also even just the jokes and the words might be not appropriate to play in the same room as a young child. Of course, the opposite argument to that is we don't want this to be like the Star Wars prequels where you're introducing characters like Jar Jar Binks and making a adult sci-fi series, and an example Star Wars, into a kid-friendly thing and changing a beloved classic. So you kind of have to stay within the style. Maybe you can slightly mature. They did do something in this story that I'm probably going to reference a lot, but not spoil. But the midget jokes now probably would be claimed to be done in bad taste. In fact, frankly, a lot of this stuff is done in bad taste intentionally. This is a bad taste comedy element in the game. That's what they were going for, and so you gotta stick to your guns for the most part and continue Borderlands down that road. But perhaps you can find a few places to add some heart to the story and add just a small bit of maturity. You're gonna have to be very careful to thread the needle. Let's see. Is there anything up here? As I'm falling through the roofs. These roofs are very, very different than the roofs we saw in the first game. They're climbable, where I think a lot of the roofs in Borderlands 1 were not at all, and they're not flat, where I think most of them would be flat. But anywhere you think there might be something, there definitely is something. But then this game is so built around that loot mechanic. Now I'm trying to think about how this compares to Darksiders 2, which was weird that it had loot in it at all. Darksiders 2 was a hack and slash game. So there's something I could see certainly about it not being as interesting. Let's just go ahead and drop that. We'll drop 2 guns there. Pick up 1 here. We desperately need... that's the kind of things that I would have preferred since they saw and imported some kind of reward for me playing Borderlands 1. Why not import my characters about of...
Let's find another way up. Ooh,
like,
a crane. Find the controls.
So
I'll wait here.
he has to go up this elevator because he can't climb stairs. Yeah, if I had just been allowed to carry as many items as my character on my PC save file could carry from the first game, and nothing else transferred over, no skill points or anything like that, you just had a backpack basically that let you hold things, I'd be happy. I think in Borderlands 3 you don't even need to do that. I think it needs to be infinite loot in your menu forever, no overburdened, no encumberness. Apparently there's oh, there's the guy. I was like, where is that guy? No backstab ability. The electricity seems to do more damage in this game, where previously it seemed like it was mostly focused around only draining shields. In the previous game, if you shot an electric barrel, it would really only inconvenience an enemy for the fact that their shield was down. You'd still have to shoot them. We haven't opened too many of these toilets. It's half a idea that the game shouldn't be that repetitive, and half an idea that the game should just do new things. I have noticed that when I open these chests, the textures of the money and items inside don't look super great. Look, it just looks really fuzzy. Borderlands 2, I guess, could do with some upscaled HD textures, so it looks nice and pretty. Even with this art style, the textures are starting to look old-fashioned. I assume there's no reason for me to shoot people that are hanging. And I'm not in a great position, frankly, to waste bullets anyways. $899. Probably going to have a considerable amount of, this is a new symbol, decent amount of money throughout the entire gameplay. I don't think I'll be spending too much currency actually on anything. Bullets is the #1 thing I'll be buying, much like in Borderlands 1 towards the end in particular. And it's still easier to run around the room and open all the things and then come back. This is something new. Let's see. Well, then we want to swap with the X button and then trash this. Let's go ahead and drop this. 18 versus 26. Drop this one. 26. Get rid of that one. And just drop that. My reload speed's really slow. The explosion there is not great.
The true world revealed. Weakness is now known to me. Time to go to work.
And so
Unsurprising.
if I'm in my action skill ability, it doesn't matter if I shoot or if I attack. I'm about to die. I gotta kill this guy really quickly. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Nope, I'm dead. This is happening way too much. Frankly, playing as single player has gotten a lot worse in Borderlands 2. I'm going to heavily have to rely on
So, how are things?
on elements that I on shielding particularly.
I ain't a real doctor.
Let's see. So let's
Good
equip
choice.
this
Probably. Try not to die.
and then what else? Which one is a better shotgun? Sell that. Sell that. Frankly, I'm not really in the mood to be using any shotguns.
Please insert any donated organs into the receptacle below.
And the sniper's not working great. This is quite a far distance to have to travel to. I don't think I made it either. I can cross around this direction.
How hilarious. You just set off my trap card. Your death approaches.
And see, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. I guess in 2018 there were so many memes, but the problem is now memes come and go so quickly that if you are going to try and have some kind of reference, it's gotta be a classic meme that everybody is still aware of and hasn't forgotten or gotten irritated with. Man, is it slow. It's been 3 hours and we're on the verge of finishing off this section. See, this is like a bathroom section where everybody's in a what were these called? Everyone's just hiding inside one of these crates. And they're not all bathrooms. And then we have all of these too, which have become these new things. The skulls were always weird in the first game, and they're even weirder now. They're freaking out and jostling everywhere. I felt like the skulls shouldn't have even been in the first game, and even more so now. I normally might consider not opening all these and picking up all the gold and things, but since it's challenges that are giving you points, and the points are giving interesting like black lights, the quests are working in a system to
Take your time, old pal. Standing on immobile platforms is one of my top 3 favorite pastimes, right behind dancing and crying.
So I can now lift him up. Unfortunately, it's been an hour again. And these other quests, by the way, of the bad hair day, if that was equipped, like none of that is over here. It's all in this other section. Okay, so good thing we know we're not missing out on that. And then this has like an audio log hidden somewhere, but we don't know where. And this is definitely in a different area, way over here. And this is, we'll be leaving this area when we're done, and we fortunately don't really ever have to come back. There was certainly some backtracking in the first game, but not so much here. It seems like we're only getting a skill point every couple of levels, where we're getting these badass tokens a lot more. And I don't think we need maximum health increase. I think we need gun accuracy and maybe gun damage. Just get a little bit of everything. Gun accuracy, gun damage. I'm not sure that when everything's said and done, all of these bonus stats are going to help us. Apparently you can also disable them for some reason. I don't know why that would be your desire, frankly.
I wish I had legs.
There's another store, maybe down this direction. But boy, does this feel exhausting. Messing with your inventory already seems like it's too much. Maybe that's because I recently played Darksiders 2, and there was a lot of messing with the inventory and playing menu hero, as I call it, in that. It seems like we're close to the end of this. But it seems like it's just too much. We don't even really know when we get the 3rd and 4th weapon slot unlocked, which we desperately needed from the beginning of the game. So far we haven't seen any quests that would give us an upgrade to our backpack, and I'd like to see that backpack upgraded to close to 50 items, because the system itself doesn't really work otherwise. It's designed in some way to make you to make you have to mess with your inventory way too much. And then I kind of wonder about how many achievements we've really done too. I also kind of wonder about where would I go if I just quit it out, because there is going to be a point where I'm going to have to just leave this game, close it probably. I don't think this might be one of the few games that doesn't crash if I just leave it running, but it very well might, and who knows where I'd end up there. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description. And if you want to support me even further, gift me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.